Not gonna close that window. Not gonna close that window. 'Cause I really can't get up. Hi team! Costuming life has gone sideways in the last few weeks. All good stuff, I promise. I've just had to make some adjustments to my creative schedule to accommodate the more time-sensitive projects. So today, we're going to go through a little update of what's on my work table and what there is to look forward to. What you're seeing right now is my homework. This past weekend, I attended the Burnley and Trowbridge Curdle workshop with Samantha Ballot, the couture courtesan. She talked about the history and the components of the garment as relevant to primarily the 16th and early 17th centuries, and participants worked all weekend to hand sew our own underdresses. I've made a ton of kirtles over the years, and none of them are made the same way, or with the same purpose in mind, or with the same materials, natural or otherwise. This workshop gave me some great aha moments on scaling and fit, and cemented tidbits that I'd considered tacit knowledge in the past. We walked away with partially constructed bodices, skirt pieces cut to fit them, and instructions so that we could finish the garment at home. We were the first group to use the new Burnley and Trowbridge dedicated workshop space, which included a warehouse shopping trip, which was amazing. As I've said before, if you're able to take a class with the B&T team, I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. On to updates. Now, for those of you who are waiting for some medieval Princess Zelda content, you'll have to wait a little bit longer. I had some setbacks on accessory construction, and editing the video is going to take some wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey magic. That said, here's a teaser and a promise that I will have it done. At some point. Soon-ish. One of the distractions that was on the horizon but is now closing in on my calendar like a charging bull is Regency Sailor Mercury. This project was heavily dependent upon embroidery and became my second scheduled 2022 costume after I got the new sewing machine. But then Bridgerton events became a thing, and now I have choices to make, and none of them include the original Sailor Mercury that I wanted to do. That's fine, it's just going to take a little stash busting and pushing my planned video content around a little bit. First up is a Bridgerton watch party, so I'm whipping up a white crushed satin gown with a lavender train and whatever frilly nonsense I can throw at it, a la Empress Josephine. The Bridgerton experience closest to me is less than a month away, so even though I'd like to finish my princess version of Regency Sailor Mercury for that, I may end up wearing whatever this pile of fabric becomes. And that's fine, I just need to get it done. Like, now. Immediately following that event, I have another Regency outing that will include photographic evidence, so the muslin gown that I'm halfway finished will finally get her turn, and I'll be able to add on all of the accessories and fancy things that I've been collecting over the last 2 years. There will be a dedicated Regency Sailor Mercury video, and at the end, I'll give you all a little fashion show of Mercury's various looks and how I adapted each one for the era and the activity. As of January, April was going to include my Georgian Artemis portrait for the Lore Olympus Cosplay Challenge, but all I have is a pile of patterns and fabric with no time to put them to use. That doesn't mean that she won't get her day, just that she's gonna be late. And finally, filling in all of the copious amounts of free time that I clearly have, I'm putting some items together for a school event that's focused on the general Renaissance chunk of history. I'll be pulling some old costumes out of storage and throwing together new ones for a selfie station. This is definitely going to be a historically flavored bit of construction, but I do want to get the students slightly closer than the Halloween store, with some thought for the people who would have worn similar garments around the world at that time. That potential video will be more of a packing the bin or a flat lay, with a chat about how I chose each piece for playing Renaissance dress-up. That's it for updates, so here is my finished comfortable kirtle. The outer fabric is a pea green wool flannel lined with linen, with buckram and more linen on the inside. With the exception of the lacing from my stash, all of the various textiles and threads used in construction are from Burnley and Trowbridge, with instruction by the couture courtesan. The piece is entirely constructed by hand and is made to fit under any number of layers and accessories. It's appropriate for both warmth and workwear. Here I'm wearing it over my pillowcase petticoat and a handkerchief at the neckline with a pair of modern rain boots since I haven't yet picked up a pair of pattens. Seeing the Curdle finished, I do want to make very slight adjustments to the bodice pattern to eliminate a couple of wrinkles there along the back, but I am so very pleased with how this came out. I love the drape of the skirts and that unintentional sweep from the side to the back. Since the pattern was made on real paper and not just a piece of muslin that I'll end up throwing in the scrap bin, and since we learned how to draft the bodice and skirts with magic mathy math rather than cursing and blood sacrifice, I can make a ton more Kirtle-like garments in the future. At this time, I'd also like to thank the rain for holding out for 5 minutes so that I could get some visuals. Thanks for watching!